Hey Doobies, today is Sunday, December 1st, 2013, and I thought I would do a video about what I have been up to over the past week and a half or so, along the lines of spiritual, magical, craft type things. So, I'm sorry, I'm getting distracted by my cat who's playing with one of his toys next to me. So, first off, since I started off with the cat, let's start with him. My kitty Xerxes, the male, the one we had first, since he's been a little itty bitty tiny thing with ears bigger than his entire head, he actually has been sick for the last week and a half. We thought that it might have been a worm or some kind of parasite, because we did get a second kitten, and we thought that she might have had something and she gave it to him, but the test for that came back negative because we did take him to the vet, and his symptoms included things like he was vomiting, and it was very acidy. Sorry, that's probably a little too much information, and he had very, very, very bad diarrhea, to the point where if you startled him or if you pressed too hard on his stomach, sometimes it would it would slip out. And then there was times when, come on, say hello to the people. Then there were times when he would just not be able to make it to, the litter box in time. And and his third eyelid was showing, and for those of you who don't have cats, who don't know, cats do have a third eyelid, and in some cats you can see it when they first wake up. It's usually like a pinkish color. It's like a mucous membrane type of thing, and sometimes when cats get ill, that membrane will swell up and will be visible over their eyes when it usually isn't. Now Xerxes, you never see his third eyelid. Never. That's just how he is. Some cats you do, sometimes you don't. He never shows it unless, well, I won't say unless, because this is the first time he's ever gotten sick, but it was clearly visible for several days before he started the vomiting and the diarrhea and things like that. It was clearly visible, and I knew there was something wrong. I just could put my finger on it, and I kept telling, my boyfriend, there's something wrong with his eyes. His eyes don't really look right. And I have a phobia about eyes. I do pay attention to that, at least. Ugh. Just thinking about it kind of makes me gross out. Kind of, ugh. Anyway, so we took him to the vet. We got some medications, and he doesn't really like it, but whatever. And I did not do a spell for him. I did not do any kind of herbal concoction or anything because, well, for several reasons. First off, I am not a vet. I am not an expert when it comes to herbs, and I do not know really what would be considered okay and what would be poisonous for a feline, and I don't even want to go down that route. I don't want to accidentally poison my cat, so I did not do anything along those lines. Another reason, well, I could have, channeled energy and things like that from the earth, but I wasn't really sure how he would handle it. He's still very young. I don't think he's a familiar. I have never exposed him to any kind of energy like that, and I thought that it would be far more soothing and calming if I just simply gave him my own personal energy whenever, as a way of healing. So I didn't force him. Whenever he came to me and he climbed up on my lap and he wanted comforting, I would just channel as much love and healing energy as I could from my own personal store of energy. And that's pretty much what I've been doing with him. So he's getting better. Things are starting to clear up finally. And I can't tell you how many loads of laundry I have done. And he stained my favorite white sheet, and he ruined one of my shirts. I'm just glad he's feeling better, which is why I'm not really too aggravated that he's getting into things in the kitchen. I can hear him do it. And because for so many days he just basically laid around the house and slept and just did that little pathetic meow, and so I'm just glad he's feeling better. Another thing I wanted to show you guys, and this is something that I have actually been working on for several months, is, I think it's called cascarilla powder, which, let's see if we can't quite see it. There we go. Yeah, that is basically powdered eggshell. I keep it in this jar, and this jar I got for free. When I lived in an apartment, there was a table in the laundry room, and it was sort of an unspoken thing that if you didn't want something, you left it on the table. If someone else wanted it, they picked it up. And if they didn't, no one picked it up after a while, then eventually it made its way to the garbage, and there was a chute in the laundry room. So, yeah, this, along with 5 other jars of different shapes, different colors, were left, and I snatched them up. And I left things, too. I left some candles and incense and things I didn't really want or didn't need, things that I didn't want to take with me. So it all worked out. I took something and I gave it back, and here we go. So I keep it in this, and basically, all it is eggshells. And it's... The reason I do this, how about we start with that? The reason I use eggshells, to me, eggshells represent protection, purity, fertility, growth, and these are all things that I would like to, well, not so much the fertility part, I don't intend to have a child right now, but along the lines of a fertile garden, hey, there you go, right? But that sort of thing, yes. I originally started making this so that I could have it for a mixture to put along the perimeter of our area. We have a patio outside. I wanted to do that around there, sort of a protection type thing, like a herbal powder type of thing. And I did not realize how many eggs it would take to make enough powder. So this is something that I've just been saving eggs as I go along. And basically, sorry. A little bit of allergy thing going. Anyway, basically what you do is you take a raw egg, not boiled. If you boil it, it loses all the vitamin D and calcium, what have you, in there. I just don't use it that way. So if it's a raw egg, you just crack it open, use the inside of the egg for whatever you want. Rinse this out, which I did not do a very good job of. Make sure you get all the membrane out, which, again, I didn't do a very good job on this one. And then after that, you just put it, crush it, and grind it. So what I use is this. This is a rock I found outside of my garden. I cleaned it off. I've been using it for a while. And this is one of, I know it's a little bit dark in here. I have horrible lighting. There's only one ceiling light in this entire place, and I don't really have a standing lamp in here, so work with me, please. This is just a bowl, like a condiment bowl. I think I got this at Big Lots. And if not, then it was a place like Mark's or something really cheap. I know they have clear glass ones at the dollar store because I bought a set. I have 4 of those. I have 4 black ones and 4 clear glass ones. And the black ones are the ones I've really been putting on my altar. And this is the one that I have not been using. So, or this is the one I have not been using. And this one is the one I use to grind stuff up in. So basically I just put it inside and just go. It takes a long time. Last time I did 6 eggs, and I worked on it 5 to 10 minutes every day because my hand was starting to get really, really sore. And it took me about longer than a week. I don't really remember how long now, come to think of it, but it took a while. And even then, like, even now, it's still not like a powder. It's coarse. It's maybe not as big as, coarse salt. But it's definitely not as fine as the real fine salt that you put in a shaker either. So that's that. Oh, and my stick has dried out pretty well so far. It's actually become pretty brittle on the end. I'm having a hard time with him. I can't really cut him. He's too hard. But I'm not giving up. What I did actually decide was that my stick was just too big to use as a staff or a wand. So, and totally by accident, I actually picked it up like this one day and realized this is the perfect handle for me to have a broom. So my intention is to use this as a broomstick, and I'm thinking I might want to cut it off somewhere and maybe use the end of it as a wand. But again, like I said, I'm having a hard time finding anything that's sharp enough to cut it. So that will probably be a project that I will have to put on the back burner for a while. That and the fact that it has snowed over the last week and everything is wet outside. So any branches I get right now are not going to be ideal. They're going to be really soggy and wet, and it'll take a long time for them to dry out, and there might be rot and all this other stuff. So I have a broomstick. I just don't have a broom ready to be used yet. So that is really what I have been working on. And there was one other thing that I wanted to mention, and now it's gone. I should have wrote it down. I should have made a bullet point list so I could reference, but I didn't. So I forgot about it. Sorry, people. That is what I have been doing for the last week and a half. So, yeah. Thank you for watching, and I guess I will talk to you guys later. Bye.